Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Evans Muneza. I am the founder and the director Evoya Autodynamics Limited, where we deal with automotive engineering, serious engineering, softwares, ECU mappings, ECU tunings, IMO off, DPF off, EGR off, AdBlue off, anything softwares in an automotive setting. So today, allow me to take you through something here. I've got an ECU here. This one here. This one is for a Nissan. Yeah. So I want us to go through the procedure on how we can do the IMO off, DPF off, and all those things. So stay with me as we learn. I will be making these videos on a weekly basis. So each and every week on Mondays, I will be posting a video on how to handle these technical aspects of the vehicle, especially the vehicle programming and reprogramming. Mostly on European vehicles and even Toyota, even the Japanese, we will tackle some. But for today, I want us to do this one. Then next time, the next video that I will upload will be on key programming, how the procedure on how you can successfully perform key programming. So now I have got the equipment that I need here for me to be able to do this. So first of all, I need the VCI. I've got this one as this one is the VCI that I'm going to be using today. The programmer, this is the programmer. Due to copyright reasons, I've covered the name, but it is a J2534 pass-through device. It's a programming machine. It can also do key programming. It can do the normal diagnosis and the rest. And I have the software is already installed on this one. So normally I prefer my machines are different. So this side, on this side I'm using Linux. Here the middle one I'm using Windows 7, and then this one I'm using Windows 11. Now there's a reason why I'm using these three laptops, and each and every one has got a different operating system based on what I want to do. Now when it comes to vehicle programming and reprogramming, the best operating system to use is always Windows 7, and that is why this middle laptop, the one that we are going to be using today, has got Windows 7 installed, and I already have the PCM Flash software installed and the Scanmatic software installed. Now the Scanmatic, that is for just the normal diagnosis. This one, Scanmatics, operates as a normal vehicle diagnostic interface. You can do the normal diagnosis. And then on PCM Flash, so if I zoom in a bit, if I open PCM Flash, sorry, it's not able to open because the dongle is still out. The dongle is this one. So this one is PFlash version 1.21, and there are two. There is version 1.1. So I think maybe before I proceed, let me show you guys the equipment that I need for me to be able to do this job. So I've said I have got this one, the vehicle VCI. I've got this cable here that emulates the ignition switch. So you'll see once I connect it, you'll see how it's able to operate as an ignition switch. You can put the ignition switch on, off, or auto as you might require. After that, we have got the dongles. So these dongles contains the PCM Flash. It's a secret. This is the secret of doing this vehicle programming, advanced vehicle programming. This one here. So when I say advanced vehicle programming, I mean ECU mapping, specifically ECU mapping and tuning. I don't talk about like the normal programming where you are changing a component and then you get the old component, copy the data, clone the data. No, I'm talking about changing the actual software inside the ECU. That is what I mean. And we have got, this is the VCI cable. So this one, if you are going to be using, you can connect this to the vehicle direct. So you can use this to connect this one. You can use this cable, this OBD2 cable. So you can use this cable to connect the VCI directly to the vehicle. So if you are going to do diagnosis, or if you want to do mapping, tuning directly into the vehicle, when the ECU is inside the vehicle, you will use this. So this one you use for on bench, like now what I want to do here. When you want to do it on bench, on the bench, like what we mean by when we say on bench is when the ECU is already outside the vehicle. So like in this case, this is one of the ECUs that I want us to work on. So with this one we want to do, let me see. Yeah, this one we are going to IMO off this one. So this one we are going to IMO off, and then this one is going to be, this one is supposed to be oxygen sensor off, this one. And then this other one I'm going to DPF off, this one I'm going to DPF off. So today, because it's IMO off, we are going to be concentrating on this ECU. This is the one that we are going to use to perform the IMO off. So before you do anything, you need to first of all do what we call the ECU identification. And I have got, if you come to this other side, I have got the wiring diagram for the bench wiring diagram that will help you when it comes to identification of the ECM and the type of ECU. So like for example, if I click this first one, it will simply give you how to connect to the computer, the data lines, the power supply, the grounds, the K line, the L line, and such things. So this one simply shows you how to connect the programmer to the ECM. We have different types of ECMs. So like if I close this one, we click another one, it gives you how to connect those the ECU to the program. So that one is just, but we will come to this later. For now, let's start with the connection. How do we power this on? So once you powered your laptop, you have to, the next thing you will do before you connect anything else, you take the P flasher version, the version that you want to use. So like in this case, on my Windows 7, I'm using version 1.20 on Windows 7, and then the version 1.21, this one, I'm using on Windows 11. So I also have the PCM Flash installed on the Windows 11 also, but I just like using it on Windows 7 because Windows 7 is so good when it comes to these duties. So the first thing that you will do is you will ensure that you take your version, the version of the PCM Flash that you want to use. Like for me, in this case, I want to use the version, in this case, I want to use the version 1.20. So you take this, after you take this and then you connect it to the laptop. After you've connected that to the laptop, you then now take the USB cable you take the USB cable, this one, this is the USB cable, and it has to be the strong cable. It has to be a strong cable. It has to be a strong cable. So you take the USB cable and then you connect the programmer here, and then this side you connect to the laptop like that. Once that is done, this light will be red. This light will be red. I want you to be keen on this light. For now, the light is red. Why? Because we've just connected it to the laptop, and at this time it's only receiving plus 5 volts only. Then now we can take this one, then we connect it here like this. Don't worry, I've covered the name due to copyright reasons. So once you've done that, you get your 12 volts adapter. So this one, on this there is the power supply connector, so you connect this to this, and when you connect the 12 volts, this light will turn to green, and this one works as the ignition switch. So like in this case, when the ignition is off, only the 12 volt supply battery light will be on, and then when you put it on, the plus 12 volts will be live. So once you've connected this one, you can verify to check. That is where now the multimeter comes in. That is where now you can now use the multimeter to verify if the voltage is coming the way they should. Good. So using your multimeter, you set your multimeter to 20 volts DC, and then we first of all test the plus 12 volts so that we see if the plus 12 volts is being supplied. So we have two positive wires here, two red wires, this one and this one. Now if you look at this, it is written plus 12 volts. This is the ignition line, and this one is battery. This one is written battery. Now this one produces a positive voltage, plus 12 volts throughout, whether the ignition is on or off. So you first of all test this. One side you put on the positive, the other one you put on the negative. Yeah. If you can see, you can see that the voltage is 11.95. And then now when you put this one here, when you try to measure this one, when you measure this one, how many voltage do we have? Zero voltage. Why? It is zero because the ignition is still off. So if you check here, it is 0 voltage, and it is 0 because the ignition is still off. Now if I put the ignition on, it is 11.61, roughly 12 volts. So that is what this one does. So after that, I had identified this ECU, and it's a Hitachi A56. So I had downloaded its connection. Good. Now this is the schematic how you are supposed to connect this to the computer so that you are able to read it. Now there are two things. Whatever you see here right now, That is for reading it. When you want to do the reading, there are two things when it comes to programming. There is reading the information and then there's writing the information. So on this particular time, what we are trying to do now is to read. First of all, we need to read this information. After reading it, we save it somewhere. Actually, what I normally do, I normally save it on the laptop, and I also copy it on this flash disk, so that even if I mess during editing, I have the original data here